Hello, this is Don Brooks. Nice to see you again. Thought I wasn't going to make it on time, but I made it. Don't like to be late. This time we're going to do a part 2 of something we did before. And the episode we did before was Why Conform. We didn't talk enough about it and do justice to it, so we're going to continue with part 2 of Why Conform. Years ago, and this, of course, all my shows are for everybody, but this is really for the young people, and they probably don't need it because young people have changed. They speak their mind now, and I just want to say thank you. Listen to this. At the turn of the last century, the 1900s, not the 1900s, there was a boxer named Jack Johnson. He spoke his mind, looked you straight in the eye, very arrogant, very confident, and on the side he ran around with white women. And now you're probably saying to me, okay, so he was arrogant, he spoke his mind, he had a couple of white chicks. Oh, I don't know what y'all call them, we call them chicks back then. He had a couple of white women, so what? Well, the what was he was black. And in 1900, that was a no-no. And then you got the nerve to flaunt it. But the thing about it, he was a great fighter and nobody could beat him until he got old. The first black champion, no one could beat him. And they even started to think the great white hope. They wanted to find a white man who could beat him. And no one could beat him, Jack Johnson. Well, after he retired, got old and retired, there was not another black heavyweight champion, probably 25, maybe 30 years, I don't know. Not until Joe Louis came on the scene. And he was, just like Jack Johnson, deemed to be unbeatable at the time. They were both great fighters. But outside of their fighting ability, they were as different as day and night. Unlike Jack Johnson, Joe Louis was very soft-spoken. Unlike Jack Johnson, Joe Louis didn't brag. Unlike Jack Johnson, Joe Louis didn't run around with white women. Well, at least we didn't know if he did. In public, okay? So, they were totally different. And the white man felt very comfortable with Joe Louis. He's a good Negro. He's a great fighter. He doesn't do these things. We love him, as opposed to Jack Johnson, who was uppity. You know, they had this term uppity. They're both great fighters. Now you're going to say, well, one was good, one was a, quote, good Negro, one was bad. No, they were both good. They were both great. They just had different personalities. And that's the problem. The establishment wants us to conform. Why can't you speak your mind, be like you, or as long as you're not breaking any laws, you shouldn't have to conform. And I know a lot about that because I had to conform. I grew up in a time when you had to conform. If you want to keep a job, if you want to go anywhere. There was at a time when I was new on a job, and I always did a good job, I thought. And they appreciated it. And Mr. James Wilson would come up to me and say, my name is James Wilson, what's your name? And I would say, my name is Donald Brooks. And what would he would say, nice to meet you, Donald. And I said, this went on for a while, different people. And I would say, I always have to call them Mr., but they call me Donald. Now I need a job, so I did something for that time that was very radical, very bold for that time. I said, enough of this. So I started to say, when they would say, my name is Mr. whatever, I would say, my name is Mr. Brooks. That's what I said. They would look at me like, did he say Mr.? Did he not tell me his first name? I decided I'm going to treat you the way you treat me. If you call me, if I have to call you James, you've got to call me Donald. If I have to call you Mr. Wilson, you've got to call me Mr. Brooks. Just a little thing. And from that day on, I've been calling myself Mr. Brooks. Oh, you call me Mr. Brooks. Do you call me that because you respect me or because I'm an old man? Which one? Go ahead. You can say it.
Let's say both. Just kidding. I have enormous amount of respect to this man.
All right. Okay. So why conform? Why do we have to conform? We shouldn't have to. And like I said, this could be wasted on the young people because I see y'all not conforming. And I made the comment, it just drives me crazy to see you with your pants hanging all down and everything. Who am I? I've got a suit on. I've got a tie. Maybe you don't like the way I look. Maybe other people don't. Do not conform, folks. Don't conform. Do not do it. There was a guy years ago, well, not just a guy, arguably the greatest all-around entertainer in the history of show business. Yeah, he did everything. He did everything. But we're going to get to him in a minute. But before we get to him, one other point I want to make. Everybody knows who Malcolm X is, and everybody knows who Martin Luther King is. These guys probably are the most famous civil rights leaders of the past century. I think that's fair to say. They got the most notoriety. They did a lot. They were as different, like Joe Louis and Jack Johnson. They were different as day and night. But they both wanted the same thing. I never was a Malcolm is wrong, Martin is right. They both wanted the same thing, and they both gave their lives for their cause. So, you don't have to conform. Be yourself. Be the best you can be, but be yourself. As long as you're honest, do whatever you want to do. And young folks, we about to get out of here. Us old folks are about to step aside and be pushed aside. It's up to y'all, okay? Now we're going to talk about the greatest entertainer, all-around entertainer. This guy could sing. Matter of fact, he used to sing in a group, they called it the Rat Pack with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. He had a better voice than both of them. He could dance. His dancing abilities were up there with Fred Astaire. He could tell jokes, great comedian. He was just the best entertainer overall. And his name was Sammy Davis Jr. Yes, Sammy Davis Jr. You got to listen to him, and you especially got to listen to this song because he says something that should resonate with all of you folks. He said, I've got to be me. I've got to be me. Sammy sang that song, and after one thing, we're going to do a letter today, or do you want to do it later?
I mean, we can get another box and we can
But close your eyes, and before we let Sam Davis Jr. sing the song, close your eyes and deep down in the mind, just pick up one.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
I think I accidentally got two.
So you got two? Okay. We'll read two. She's trying to take over, isn't she? Try to help people, and what do they do? Anyway, we're going to open a couple letters today. Oh, and by the way, you know I have an email now. I don't do the emails on the air because I usually answer them personally when they send the emails in. So I'm going to continue to do the letters for the time being. And let's see if this is a fan letter. Okay, here we go. All right. What is this? Oh, man. Mr. Brooks, your show is enjoyable. I understand where this came from. This came from Joe Epstein in Amarillo, Texas. It's usually cold up there. How's the weather right now? Okay, he's from Amarillo. I enjoy your show most of the time, but I want to know, why don't you have a show where you have other people on there and you debate? I think I might have covered this. Maybe you missed that episode. There are shows that are debatable. I don't debate. I speak my mind and let somebody speak their mind. So since I don't debate, I'm not going to have anybody on here to debate, because debate means there's two different points of view. And the Dawn Brooks Show is not interested in opposing views. Tune in to something else for that. So don't debate. Keep up the good. Right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Epstein. Hope everything's going on up there and okay up there in Amarillo. All right, that was not a fan. Okay, he did say he enjoyed the show, so I guess you can say that was a fan there. Okay, this is from Lenny. Is Lenny a male or female's name? Lenny?
I'm not quite sure.
Lenny Glover from Long Beach, California. Oh man, Long Beach. Oh man, yeah, I'm familiar with Long Beach. I had a daughter that went to school there, graduated from there, got a degree. Now she thinks she's smarter than everybody, but that's another story. Okay, this from Long Beach, California. All right. From Lynn. I guess maybe we'll find out if Lynn is a male or female. What do you think?
It sounds more like a man to me, but we'll figure out.
Dear Mr. Brooks, I look forward every week to watching your show, but I feel that you could go into more detail because I don't think you've read everything, the subject you're talking about. I think you're just saying things which you think is correct. Anyway, thank you for the show. It's entertaining. In just a few words to let you know that I consider this only constructive criticism, but I do love your show. Sincerely. Okay, I guess that wasn't. I guess it sounded like it was a man. It sounds like a man to me.
Perhaps?
Yeah. I want more women to write me. Anyway, yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I don't really do homework. When something is in the news, I reflect my opinion on it. I don't need to have anybody else's views. I do need to know the circumstances, but you're pretty much correct. And although I do take criticism to heart, I don't see myself changing it. It's working now, but not to say that I won't. Well, you know, sometimes I do my homework. I find the meaning of words as they prepare to the show. But Lenny, thank you for your comments. Okay, all right, I think that's about it for now. Will you be here next week?
Yes, she will.
If she's here, I'll be here. See y'all later. Take it away, Sammy.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? I want to live, not merely survive. And I won't give up this dream of life that keeps me alive. I gotta be me.